So hi friends, how are you? I hope you are doing well. So in this video we will learn about the state and proofs. So what is the state and what is the proofs in ReactJS? So what state means that states is the local variable inside a function. So if we create a function and we will create some variables like let a equal 20. So this a can be accessed inside only the function. The same thing happen with the state in the component. So if we create a state inside a component, so this state can be accessed inside that component only. If we want to access this state inside the another component, we cannot access this state in the another component. So this is the definition of state. So states means this is a global variable of the component, and we can access these states inside only the component. And second thing, if we update this state, it will re-render our component again. So like if we change the value inside the states, so it will re-render our component again. And what is the proofs? So proofs means like when we want to pass our data from parent component to child component, then using the proofs we can pass our data from parent component to child component. And else, like if we want to pass our data from child component to parent component, then same thing we can do the proofs. So this is the proofs. So if we want to transfer our data from one component to another component, then with the help of proofs we can pass our data. And states means like that can be accessed inside only a inside the component, that's state, and it will re-render component when the state is changed. And proofs means that we want to transfer our data from one component to another component, then we use the proofs. So this is the basic definition about the state and proofs. So now understand with the practical example. So I have created this application. This is the application. So inside this application, so state means like I create this parent component and I create a child component. So inside the parent component, I created two states, username and password. So these states can be accessed inside this parent component only. If we want to access these states inside the child component, so we cannot directly access these states. Like if I create a child component as well here. So if we this child component, the parent component have two states, username and password. We can display these values, username here, username and password. So we can get the values of username and password inside this parent component one. And if we want to access this these username and password inside the child component, then we cannot access these. We need to pass these data inside this component with the help of proofs. So after that we can access it, but we cannot directly access this state inside the another component. So now we can see that I am passing here. So we are able to get the value here. So I can translate like this. So now we can say that states, if I am typing in the username, we are able to pass the username. If I give password, and I can able to change the password. So the states means we can manage our data, manage our states inside only the component. This is the states. And if we want to pass our data from one component to another component, then we need to use proofs. So if we directly pass, if we like I create this child component as well here, and I export this child component from child component and import into the parent component, and I think this. So like I am typing here, but like username and password are empty here. We are unable to access these username and password inside the child component. Inside the child component, I use this password and username, but I am unable to access these values inside the child component. It will throw an error. We are unable to access states outside the component. So if we want to pass our data from child component to parent component, so that we can use this, like we can pass our data from child to parent. So parent to child, we can create a name here, and what we want to pass from here, like I want to pass username from this child component to parent component, parent component to child component, and password from this parent component child component. Pass the value. Now we can access these username and password inside the child component. So these value can be accessed inside the probes. So when we pass our data inside this child component, then this username can be accessed inside the probes. So now this value can be accessed inside the child component. I think here, so we are able to pass our data inside the child component. So now using this probes, so we can pass our data from child component. As well as we are passed like two values we are passing. We can pass single object from here. So like I can create a we can remove this one. So we can create a single object instead of separate value. Password will also blank. Initially, both values are blank, and we can use this profile instead of password. Profile and set profile, and we can use this set profile method. So initially we are sending two values here, so we can pass only single object. So we can just set profile. Copy the set profile method here. Set profile, and I want to set create this object here. Initially, I want profile to be for the previous value. And then same thing, password. Now instead of passing the whole object, we can pass this profile. Profile object from this parent child. Pass inside the compressive. Now I'm passing, before I was passing the single variable, so we can pass the multiple variable inside this object. I have passed right from here, so we can get the profile inside the child component. Profile dot password profile dot user. So now we can I'm sending object instead of the single variable. So we can send the multiple item from this parent component to child component. Now we can see inside the output. So now we can pass our whole object from this parent component to child component. So I just create a type and change this. I just change only when I change this username, then I set the username value. And when I change the password, then I set the password value. Then inside the child component, I'm sending this whole object from this parent component to child component. Now I am just fetching the probes, then probes to profile and username, and access this value inside the child component. So now I am able to fetch the value in the object of single. Like then before I was passing a single object, like single value. So we can pass the multiple values from parent component to child component. We can create an object and then we can set the value inside the object and then we pass the data inside the child component. So this is the way for sending the data from parent component to child component. And what happens if I want to pass my data from this child component to parent component? So how can I pass my data from child component to parent? Like I'm just removing these things from here. I'm just removing this. Now I'm just so like this is the our component. Yes, so like I think this is our whole parent component and this is our child component. Now I want to pass my data from this child component to the parent component. Again, we are sending our data from the parent component to child component. That is very easy. You can just send an value and we can send an object from this parent component to the child component. Now I want to pass my data from child component to parent. So how can I do that? So first, like I can create these input type inside our child component. Then I want to display the value inside the parent component. So I create these value inside the child component, and inside the child component I create the input type. And instead of passing the value, I can send this method set username. Pass this username and pass set password and pass set password. So before earlier we are passing the values from the parent component to child component. Now we can pass this method inside the child component, and then child component calls these method and then update the value inside this, and then we can print these value inside the parent. Child So now we are earlier we are sending the value that can be accessed inside the child component. Now we are instead of sending the value and passing the method name from parent component. So we are sending the these method name from the parent component to child component. And then instead of we cannot directly call these methods that are coming from this parent component. So we cannot directly access these methods. So then like we need to use these probes. Using the probes, we can call these methods. Probes load set username and set password. Then like when I change this input type, then they will call this set username that are declared inside the parent component. And then they will update the value inside the username, and we can update the value inside the username. So like I'm passing the value inside the child component, getting value inside the parent component. This is the way. So first thing you need to understand, when you want to pass your data from parent component to child component, then you can use this. You can use the name, and we can pass the value. And if you want to pass your data from child component to parent component, then you need to pass a method, and inside that from the child component to parent component, you need to pass the method from your child component to parent component. And then parent component can call this method. Like the parent component can call these methods with the help of probes. So I'm just passing these set username and set password, these method, to the child component, and with the help of probes, the child method can call these methods and set the value inside the username. Like these methods, like a set username and set password, both are responsible to update the value. Like set username responsible to update the value inside the username, and set password is responsible to update value inside the password. So these methods can be called from the child component. So these are with the help of probes. So with the help of probes, I am calling these methods, and they will update the value inside this username and password, and then we can display these values inside our component. So now we can pass our data from child component to parent component. there are any other optional way, like we can use the context API, we can use the use context hook, and we can use Redux also, Redux as well. So, but if like if there are only we want to like there is a chain, so in that scenario we can use these technique like Redux hook, a context, anything. But if you want to pass only single, like from parent to child, only one level, so then we can use this only this way. We can pass a method from the child component, from the parent component to child component, and child component can hold these methods with the help of props, and then we can update the value inside the parent. So this is the way for now we are now updating value inside the child component, and we can get the values inside the parent. So I think you understand and you got my point. I want to explain to you, and please like and subscribe my channel. So, and if you have any issue inside this, like how can we pass our data from child component to parent component, child to parent, and parent to child, so you can comment me. I will try to explain in better way. I also tried to explain in better way, but if you have any issue further, so please comment inside on the video, so that I can check, and I will try to make you satisfied the concept of React. And also please like and subscribe my channel. So, and also if you have any topic that you want to be understand, if you have any confusion, any topic from the ReactJS, so you can also comment that I need to understand these topics, so I can create a video on that. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.